Hi, kids. So, I was getting ready for work this morning, and, as I tend to do when I'm getting ready for work, I tend to watch, and, as you can see, I'm still finishing up getting ready for the office. It's pretty early in the morning. I tend to go in kind of early. But as I tend to do when I'm getting ready for work, I was watching something on Hulu, because a lot of times that's the only way that I get to watch anything is in the morning while I'm getting ready for work instead of in the afternoon when I'm doing homework or, anything else. And what I was watching had to do with Scott Peterson. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to get all over my ass about my thoughts with regards to Scott Peterson. But let me say this. All right. While a lot of people have been obsessed with the Avery case, and I don't blame you, although Avery and Dassey have legal representation, they have, they're in the best possible position that they can be in at this point in time, is what I'm saying, okay? They're covered, right? Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of other cases don't have that privilege, and that's why I do other cases. But with regards to the Scott Peterson case in particular, now I want you guys to understand, when the Scott Peterson case first occurred, I think I was in my early 20s, and I absolutely fucking believe that he did it. Abso-fucking-lutely. Of course. But, hi Dozer. She's like, I heard you talking. Did you ring, mother? So I absolutely fucking believed that Scott Peterson did it. And, but when the shit came out about the burglary, that got my hackles up. And I was like, why is this the first time that we're hearing about this? And then the Innocence Project got involved. Now, I know what a lot of people are saying, and all I can say again is you can really fucking tell who of you actually knows what the fuck you're talking about and who of you are just playing armchair detective. Okay? So, I have successfully actually assisted with some Innocence Project stuff. Now, I have not worked with the Innocence Project itself. I have been contacted by the Innocence Project to assist in getting them some case materials and in vetting a few cases, okay? Here is what I know about working with the Innocence Project. They don't just take a fucking case willy-nilly, okay? They're kind of like the Supreme Court that way. They have to have severe belief that something very wrong has happened. Their application process is ridiculously detailed, and it has to be. Do you have any idea how many fucking inmates are innocent? I mean, for fuck's sake, there's a joke made about it in the Shawshank Redemption. Fucking allergies, man. The fact is that for the Innocence Project to even take a look at the case, there's something there. For them to take the case, there's really something there. And for them to publicly not only announce it, but to file a motion, there's really something there. They go deep into stuff, okay? It's like a whole fucking process. They go deep. And I'm not saying because the Innocence Project got involved that he's absolutely innocent. What I'm saying is that there is clearly something that we don't know. And I'm so sick and tired of people acting like they fucking know and they're basing it on conjecture. I'm fucking over it. You don't know. You weren't there. Neither were you, Cookie. Neither were you. Okay? Neither one of us was there. That's kind of the whole point of the adversarial system, is to come to the truth. And if you're not keeping an open mind, you're not going to be able to get to the truth. Ever. If you're just basing your thought process on what the cops say, listen, I work criminal defense. I specialize in criminal defense. Let me fucking tell you, the cops don't always know what the fuck they're talking about. The cops do not always operate on the side of right and justice. Just look at what's going on with these fucking protests across the country at college campuses. Fucking showing up in riot gear. They can't show up to a fucking school shooting and actually assist the students, but they'll come in riot gear against the students. For fuck's sake. For God's sake, here in Albuquerque right now, it went out. Here in Albuquerque right now, the Albuquerque Police Department, who, by the way, Google that shit. They have been just like known to be corrupt for decades, okay? Right now they are under an FBI investigation for a payoff scheme with a defense attorney. Hundreds of DUI cases are being dismissed because these fucking corrupt ass cops were involved. The fucking chief of police is currently being replaced. All right. And true, that's just Albuquerque. But look, okay? Cops are not always on the up and up. And in fact, the Supreme Court has even said that the police have absolutely no obligation, no constitutional obligation to protect anybody. The whole protect and serve bullshit was an ad campaign in the 80s. It's not policy. This is the problem. A lot of people are basing what they think actually happened, what they think the truth is, on what they see in the media. And again, as a trial paralegal, I have sat in the fucking room. I have sat in the courtroom and listened to the testimony. And then later went home and watched the news and watched how the news bastardized and cherry-picked and outright lied about what was said in court that day. Outright fucking lied about what was said in court that day. And this is a situation where we have actual court transcripts that can prove the news media lied. And they still do it. And they do it with impunity. Why? Because they fucking can. Okay? Until you have worked in this field, until you actually have credentials in this field, you really have no fucking idea what's going on. And I've seen this in cases that, frankly, nobody gives a shit about. You know, it's never going to be national news. I've seen them where they are national news. One of the trials that I worked on was national fucking news. One of the trials that I actually was in the courtroom for was national fucking news, albeit, you know, on the smaller side, but still national fucking news because of the circumstances surrounding the case. And the fucking DA, who, it wasn't even the DA. It wasn't even the DA. It was the Attorney General. The Attorney fucking General. And they lied. They outright fucking lied. They made a whole fucking circus out of this thing because it was media news and they wanted to be on the news. Because they wanted to further their career. That's how this works. All I'm saying when it comes to the Scott Peterson thing is you need to have a much more open mind. Because what you were told in the media is not the truth. I've seen it. And if I've seen it in these small shits, what is going on with the big ones? Okay? Now, I know that you guys know that I am not big on conspiracy theories. I think conspiracy theorists are lazy thinkers. And that's the truth. But I have, and people in this field have not just anecdotal evidence. We have evidence across the board. Studies have been done by major universities, by major fucking contributors. that prove that what I'm saying right now is true. And that is that the media doesn't tell you the truth. In a trial, at the and we're going to start talking about this here pretty soon. I'm going to start making some videos to go along with the podcast. But, you know, this bears on this. At the very first stage of a trial, when you're doing your trial prep, you go through the jury selection process. And part of the jury selection process is you get all of these jury questionnaires. And you have to go through them. You have to you know, read through them and determine what jurors you want to preemptively strike and what jurors you want to actually voir dire and all of that fun shit. You would be surprised how many fucking potential jurors actually believe the media has to tell you the truth. That's usually one of the questions, you know, do you believe the news? And invariably the answer is always something along the lines of, well, of course I believe the news. They can't report it if it's not true. If you honestly believe that, I've got a fucking bridge in the desert to sell you. There's a sucker born every minute, kids, and let me tell you, a vast majority of them get on juries. The news has absolutely no legal obligation to tell you the truth. The news makes its money through ratings, and they increase their ratings based off of how sensational what they're reporting is. Now, my integrity is my single most prized possession. For many fucking reasons, not the least of which being, that's what I base my career on. That's what pays my bills. I have to be honest with my time, with my money, with what I do at the office, in my processing of case information for clients. Everything I do is under the auspices of the law license of my supervising attorney. If I fuck up, it goes against my boss. And if it goes against my boss, I lose my job. That's simple. In fact, what I say on YouTube or on any of my videos or on my podcast or anywhere, that could also go against me. It could go against me. I am a bar registered paralegal. I'm registered with the Bar of New Mexico. Okay? I have to keep my ethics in line at all times. Okay? It's my bread and butter. It's how I make my living. So, and theoretically, that's how it should work for attorneys. But if I can tell you one thing, I used to work for a fucking attorney that he has no business having a fucking license. Whatsoever. None. Not a fucking whit. But once you have that law license, it takes a lot for the bar to pull it. Okay? The fact of the matter is that you guys are basing your thought processes on the on a lot of cases where you are just convinced that the person is guilty. You're basing it off of what the media has told you. And you're not thinking critically. And then when the Innocence Project comes along and you know, decides to take on the case, you guys have the fucking balls to act like you know better. These are licensed attorneys and forensic analysts and like a whole fucking team that this is literally all they do. This is their job. This is my job. And you people are fucking store clerks and secretaries and you have nothing to do with the legal field and you want to fucking tell us our business. We are not the same. Okay? Listen, right now I work in real estate law. I specialize in criminal defense, but I work in real estate law at the moment. And I have had so many fucking people talk shit about, you know, oh, you're just a paralegal. What if you say something so fucking idiotic as you're just a paralegal? That tells me that you get your information on how a law office works from TV. You don't actually know shit, nothing. Okay? But back to the loving place. The fact remains that you don't actually know what it is that we do. Okay, I work real estate law, true. Fucking allergies. I work real estate law, this is true. But when I'm sitting at my desk of a Tuesday and I'm doing my job, which is to know the evidence, and I'm clicking through the evidence because I have to know the evidence in order to help my attorney, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, huh, so that's what a 45 does to a human skull. Oh my gosh, okay, his eyes come out of the socket. Huh. Oh shit, it's time for lunch. I think I want tacos. That's literally how my day goes. Okay, and I'm sitting there with the fucking taco, like, that was to the back of the skull. Well, but, blah, blah, you know, mine is a very dark world. And until you are doing that, and that's your reaction to seeing actual fucking crime scene photos, I don't want to hear it. And it's not going to be that reaction until you are used to seeing that kind of shit on a daily basis. And you're not going to see that kind of shit on a daily basis unless you're in the field. And you're not in the field. So stop second guessing those of us who are. At the very least, if not stop second guessing, at least keep an open mind to what we're saying. That's all I've got to say on that subject. I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out with the Scott Peterson case, because at the very least, there's something to look at. Anyways, I gotta get my happy ass to work. Thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me here on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Threads. And if you boogie on over to my About page, you will find everything from my Pinterest boards to my Facebook fan page. You can also find me on TikTok at Mama Phoenix herself. Thank you all again very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.